Good morning. Welcome to the first morning discussion for the new year. It's January 2nd, 2012. It is 9:09 a.m. and temperatures are actually falling rather than rising this morning. The reason why is that we have Arctic air building in, and that Arctic air is going to keep temperatures pretty much where they are right now. You could push into the lower 40s a little bit along the coast. Let's say instead of 39, you get to 41 or 42, like around Connecticut, New York City, around the New Jersey coast. But as you move into the interior, temperatures are down into the upper 20s to lower 30s, and they will likely stay around that range of temperatures through the afternoon and especially in the evening hours. For those of you going to the hockey game, I know they pushed back the start time to 3 p.m. You're going to be fine as far as the conditions for ice and whatnot. Perfectly fine. Expect dry conditions, chilly conditions, and watch out for that wind. That's going to be the big story for today and for the next several days. Is we're going to deal with a strong west to northwesterly wind, anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour. Combine that with temperatures in the 20s and lower 30s for highs, and you're talking about wind chills in the afternoon during the warmest part of the day in the mid-teens to lower 20s, possibly even a few single digits thrown in there. In the morning, it's just going to be brutal. Welcome to the first real Arctic air mass of the winter season. And by the way, there is more to come. I'll get to that in just a moment. Let's take a look at the infrared satellite picture, and you can clearly see our Arctic cold front is moving off of the coast and into the Atlantic. We have a secondary cold front that's moving through the Great Lakes. This cold front actually is going to really enhance the lake effect snow over Lake Ontario and Lake Erie. Why is that important? Well, if you're in northwestern New Jersey or around northeastern Pennsylvania, let's say around the Poconos, don't be surprised if you see a few scattered snow showers or even a few snow flurries for this afternoon and for the next few days as these snow bands develop off the Great Lakes and try to extend further east towards the western portions of the NYNJPA weather forecast area, which would basically be around the Hudson Valley down through the Poconos and northwestern New Jersey. Otherwise, expect dry conditions over the next several days. Basically, a cold, dry, quiet weather pattern, which, it's not too bad for this time of year. Yes, it's cold, but at least we're not dealing with any winter storms yet. Now, when we look at the European model guidance, clearly you can see that very cold Arctic air mass is in place. This is some very cold air setting up over eastern Canada. However, it doesn't last. Why? Because we're still in a progressive weather pattern, which means that the cold air comes and then it leaves. So by the end of this week, we'll see a steady moderation back towards normal for this time of year, talking about the lower to mid 40s for highs. By this weekend, we warm up nicely into the 40s, possibly even a few lower 50s for highs on Friday and Saturday. However, that warm up will be very brief, with cold air returning once again for Saturday night into Sunday. As the cold front moves through, look for a few scattered snow showers on Sunday. Then we start setting up a rather interesting weather pattern. For all you premium members out there, well, I've been talking about this stratospheric warming and what impacts it will have on the weather pattern once it hits the troposphere where we live. And that is starting to happen now as we head towards the very end of the forecast period here. Our polar vortex is starting to weaken and drop further south, and we're starting to see a little bit more of a cold press towards the lower latitudes, specifically where we live. Okay, now this first cold press here, combined with a few disturbances with our subtropical jet stream here, could lead to the first minor snow threat for the northern mid-Atlantic moving into next week. It's something that we're going to have to watch. Right now, I think it's more of a rain-snow mix along the coast, but if you're just away from the coast, it could be our first accumulating snowfall event, not including the October storm that was a freak occurrence. So it's something that we're going to keep an eye on as this Arctic cold air really pulls around eastern Canada and starts to drop further south. And there's more of that to come when we look at the longer range weather patterns. All the indices are starting to fall. The Arctic Oscillation and North Atlantic Oscillation, the EPO, all these indicators, let's just say, that strongly points to a rather interesting pattern developing for January and February. So it's something definitely to keep an eye on. So I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday season. I hope everyone had a great start to the new year. As always, stay safe out there and Happy New Year. Of course, you can follow the latest weather information at nynjpaweather.com and nynjpaweather on Facebook and Twitter.